LA Chillharmonic came from an idea that I had just to kind of regress back to what made me sit on the edge of my bed when I was 16 years old and think, wow, I could do this kind of a thing. I was working on this disc, and Brian and I just started thinking about adding more and more players, and the more players that we added, the more into it we got. God, we could have Greg Adams do these horn arrangements, Michael Paulo do a bunch of burn-in solos, and get a 9-piece horn section, sort of like Tower of Power, Earth, Wind, and Fire, those sorts of things going on. We just started thinking expansively the more that I kept writing for the record.
And it was his idea. He came up with his name, the LA Chillharmonic, which I thought was killing. Man, what a name. It's just such a great name. So what became his record, what started as his record, became the LA Chillharmonic, and it became kind of like an all-star thing, and it's really fun. What's really interesting about the project, what we do live, because it's a brand new band, so we're still kind of figuring out the music, because the record is a lot of original material and different songs. What we do live, we do a couple songs off the record that we do live. And then it's an all-star band. It's Greg Adams, it's Gregg Karukas, it's Michael Paulo, Richard, and myself, and it's cool. I mean, everybody's killing, and everybody's had #1 hits, so it's a really neat, you know, chemistry of guys, and we do everybody's music. So if you're a big smooth jazz fan, you'll recognize literally almost every song because they've been hits for everybody. And it's just fun. We have a great time. Lots of smiles on stage, which is what it's about.
LA Chillharmonic is just star after star. It's like the coolest all-star setup.
Everybody's very generous, and if you want to go there, you just go there. Everybody supports it, and it's a great feeling that you have you're secure.
You know, this band, when I turn around and I look at Bromberg, man, I look at Greg Karukas and Greg Adams, I mean, not only great musicians, but great writers, producers, and Richard Smith. You know, I mean, it's an honor for me.
I'm very proud of the record. I think it turned out really, really well. And because I love Richard, I hope it's tremendously successful for him because he deserves it, you know? But besides that, the records are really an enjoyable listen. People that listen to the record really like the spirit from the beginning to the end, and that's what's cool. And when you see the band and you put the record together, it's totally cohesive because it's about the spirit. So that's for me is what the record's about.
This is my 9th album. I get the honor of being called a veteran of smooth jazz. And, you know, after all those records, you start thinking about going back to your roots. And then that's when I started thinking, wow, LA really needs sort of this cool signature band that can come out swinging like that. And that's how I got to it.
All of a sudden, this LA Chillharmonic thing was born, and we started to you know, have this dialogue with Richard as well. Do you want to put a band together? It's got something going. It's got a nucleus of a real. There's a fire in the belly, and you know, the bundling thing is such a cliche, but I think this is a great. If you want to call it bundling, this is a great bundling.
You know, it's just a joy to play with other musicians and help support them, you know, in what they're doing.
It's just going to be like the old days when there's brass everywhere and loud guitars and drums. The whole pocket is going to be huge. It's going to remind you of an old concert back in the day. It's going to be a lot of fun. One of the singles that we're starting with, Boogie on Reggae Woman, is a signature 70s tune. This is like my anthem from high school. And it was so exciting to work with Herman Jackson, who's Stevie Wonder's keyboard player. And the pocket on Boogie on Reggae Woman is both funky, but it's also reggae, so it was not a challenge, it was just a joy to be able to do that. Great honor to be able to do that. Second single is called Back in the Day, and that one really sort of encapsulates the record. I sort of wrote it as a homage to Tom Scott and the LA Express, a record that really was the theme song from my high school years. I had it blaring in my car all the time. It's got a really nice guitar-driven melody, full horn section kicks in. It's just a hell of a lot of fun to play.
The thing about Richard that's really cool is, first of all, he's a tenured professor at USC. He's like a professor. He knows music, he writes it, he arranges it, he understands. He's a great teacher. He's built a huge program at USC. It's one of the best schools in the world, right? So he comes with tremendous credibility from that, and he's a killing guitar player. He loves to shred. So it's neat. It's very rare that you find a guy that really likes to shred and get funky and play the blues and whatever, who also understands education. He manages to walk the line on both, and it's really, really cool.
There's no better time to be in it than now to be a musician. It's so diverse, there's so many styles kicking around, and I've always loved grabbing onto whatever I could and grabbing it by the tail and seeing what happens. So I think now is the best time to be a musician. I'm so fortunate to be in the midst of it.